I want to tell you about the simplest, most ordinary ways I experience Christ. Not in grand spiritual experience, not in burning bushes or angelic visitations, just simple, quiet, ordinary. Because I think we've been taught that encountering God should feel dramatic and mystical and otherworldly. And sometimes it is. But most of the time, for me, it's so much simpler than that. Welcome to Guided, Hearing God's Voice in a Noisy World. I'm Brenda Bertrand, and today I just want to share with you how Christ walks with me. Not how he's supposed to, not how the books say, just how he actually does. My hope is that when I'm done, you'll recognize your own experience. The simple, raw, mysterious ways God has been showing up for you all along. Yesterday at 5:30 in the evening, I looked out my window. The sky was this impossible, gorgeous shade of pink with gold light spilling over everything. And I just glanced at it. That's all. Just a glance. And in that moment, I sensed Christ's presence. Not in words, not in thoughts, just presence. Like Christ was standing next to me, also looking at the sky, also seeing the pink and gold, also just being. I didn't pray with words. I didn't quote scripture. I didn't have some profound spiritual insight. I just felt him near. And that was enough. More than enough. I wonder if you've had moments like that where you weren't trying to manufacture an experience of God. You were just living. And suddenly you sensed nearness. That counts. That's real. That's Christ walking with you. The other night, I woke up with my thighs covered in rashes, raw, unexplained, painful. I went to doctors, I went to urgent care. No one could explain it. Just there, hurting, making me feel so helpless. And one night, lying in bed, trying not to scratch and trying not to cry, I just whispered, I need your help, God. This is awful. That was my prayer. Not eloquent, not theologically deep, just raw, a cry for help. And I felt it. That sense of being held, not healed instantly. The rash didn't disappear, but I wasn't alone in it anymore. Christ, the suffering Christ, was there with me. In the pain, in the not knowing, in the frustration of my body doing something I couldn't control. Christ didn't fix it, but Christ was with me in it. I think that's what I miss sometimes. And maybe you may be the same way. We think Christ's presence means the problem goes away. But sometimes his presence just means you're not carrying it alone anymore. Christ is there. In the awful, in the unexplained, in the whispered, desperate prayer at 3 a.m. Last week, I was praying about a situation, something I could not fix, something I wanted to control but couldn't. And I just said, Jesus, help me lay this down. That's it. Not a 10-minute prayer, not a whole spiritual process, just an invitation. Be with me as I try to lay this down. Be with me. And Christ was. I felt my shoulders drop. I felt my breath deepen a little and my grip release. Not because I figured anything out, but because I could sense I wasn't holding it alone anymore. And this is what I'm learning about Christ. Christ doesn't need elaborate rituals or perfect words. Maybe it's just as simple as an invitation, sharing a truth, being open to presence. And there he is. Sometimes when I'm quiet, I hear a name, not audibly, don't worry, but in my spirit, in my soul. I hear beloved, I hear sweetheart, I hear baby girl. It's as if God has God's own names for me. And I know that sounds strange to some, but as we continue to build and trust our own relationship with God, there may be a sense of name by which God calls you. In the intimacy of your life and of your prayer, you can sense, again, I don't hear it in a voice, but you can just sense that there is a sweetness around how God sees you and how God refers to you. Not servant, I hear beloved. I hear precious. That's what it feels like to me. When I hear that and sense, I just feel loved. Not because I did anything, not because I prayed the right way or read enough scripture, just loved. I wonder what God calls you. Not what you've been taught, not what religion says. What does God whisper to you when God lovingly gazes at you? Listen for it. Here's the mystery I cannot explain. Sometimes God just breaks in the most loving way. I'll be doing something ordinary, making tea, driving, walking, and suddenly I'm overwhelmed with this sense of being loved. Sometimes I'm confused and anxious and worried, and there's just a breaking in, a holding, and a nearness of God just reaching into the messiness of my life. Not because I earned it, not because something good happened or something bad happened, just love. A loving presence comes in like a wave, uninvited, unearned. I could never produce it again. All I can do is receive it. Let go. Stop trying to make sense of it and just be loved. That's Christ walking with me. That's how I experience it. Not in the grand gestures, but in these small, mysterious moments of grace. Here's what I want you to hear. Your experience of God, of Christ, is divine and unique. It's particular to you, and it's precious. You don't have to experience God the way I do. You don't have to experience God the way the books say. And you certainly don't have to experience God the way your pastor does, or your friend does, or anyone else. Your relationship with Christ is yours. And between you and God, you get to co-create what that looks like. Maybe you sense God in nature, in the way the light filters through the trees, in the sound of rain as you work your garden. Maybe you sense God in music, a song that makes you cry or makes you smile. Or maybe you sense God's presence in silence that feels full instead of empty. Maybe you sense Him in your body, in the way you know something before you can explain it, in the peace that settles in your chest. Maybe you sense God in other people, in a friend who shows up, in a stranger's kindness, in your child's laughter. However you experience Christ, that's valid. That's real. That's sacred. You don't have to describe it perfectly to anyone. You don't have to theologize it. You don't have to make it sound spiritual. I invite you to just honor it. Notice it. Celebrate it. Claim it as your unique, special relationship. Look around your actual life, not the life you think you should have, your actual life. Where is God near to you? Where do you sense God's presence? And maybe it's in your morning coffee ritual. Maybe it's the way the first sip tastes like grace. Maybe it's in your commute or a morning walk, or the moment you notice the sky, or when you're by a body of water, you feel that all is well in the world and there's a peace that passes all understanding. Maybe you have chronic pain and there's some way beneath all the hurt that you know you're not alone in it. Maybe it's the laughter that bubbles up unexpectedly. Maybe it's in nature, the bird at your window, the tree you walk past every day, the way spring always comes. Friend, God is whispering grace all around you, in the simple things, in the ordinary moments, in your actual, messy, beautiful life. You don't have to go looking for grand spiritual experiences. Just notice, just receive. Christ is already walking with you. Here's the truth I keep coming back to. God is not far. God is near. So near that you might miss it if you're looking for something dramatic. So near that it looks like ordinary life. So near it may just be as close as your breath. A sunset, a whispered prayer, unexplained peace, being called beloved and sweetheart and baby girl. And you are near to God right now, in this moment, in your actual life. You don't have to earn proximity. You don't have to perform your way into God's presence. You're already there. Christ is already here. So this week, I have one invitation for you. Notice, just notice, where do you sense Christ's nearness? And it might be subtle, it might be simple, it might not sound spiritual if you try to explain it to someone else. It may sound weird, but if it feels like grace, if it feels like love, if it feels like you're not alone, it may be Christ walking with you in your simple, raw, mysterious, precious life. And friend, that's enough. More than enough. I needed this reminder today. And so I'm here with you as we take a breath. Let this settle in your heart. May it feel true that you are loved and God is near no matter what. Before we close, receive this blessing. May you notice the ways Christ walks with you. In the sunsets and whispered prayers, in pain that is held and peace that settles. In the names that God calls you when it's quiet. May you honor your unique way of experiencing the divine. May you trust that simple is enough. May you know how near God is to you and how near you are to God. You are loved. You are held. You are home. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone. And if you really like it, give us 5 stars. We'd appreciate it. If you want to learn more, join me at my website, brendabertrand.com, and sign up for my newsletter so that you can keep up to date and we can stay close. Until next time, friend, take care.